Everyone, my name is Moms, and this is my March wrap-up. Now, March was a weird month. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with that. It was especially a weird reading month for me. I didn't really seem to like anything that I read, and I felt like I just kind of, I don't know. March wasn't a good month. So let's get into what I started, read, and possibly DNF'd in the month of March. So the first book that I read in the month of March was actually on my TBR, so yeah, that's rare. And the book was Goblins by Charles Grant. This is the first book in the X-Files fan series, I guess is what I would call this. This is a sci-fi crime detective mystery about Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, and they team up with two agents to kind of investigate some mysterious deaths that are taking place around an airbase, I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. This book wasn't very good. But I mean, I knew that going in. I didn't expect it to be good, and it most certainly was not good. So I think the thing for me was that really kind of killed this book was the writing. It was just not good. It just wasn't good. Charles Grant made some very, very, very odd decisions, I think. There were quite a few characters in here that didn't really amount to much, switching back and forth between their first name and their last name, but we didn't really actually know the characters well enough to usually know who the heck he was talking about. Like, there were times where he's talking to somebody and I'm like, who the heck are you? And they're like, you've been here the whole time. Oh. It was just really hard to keep track of everybody. That being said, I did kind of enjoy the mystery. The murderer, or yeah, the bad guy, the murderer, they think it's some like extraterrestrial or paranormal, something weird and unexplainable. That part was interesting. The twist on that was interesting. I didn't necessarily see it coming, but there were so many like red herrings, I guess. It just kind of got annoying. And then with the new agents, I hated them. I didn't get their dynamic. I didn't get why they were there. And then when it was explained why they were there, I was just like, nobody cares. But this was enjoyable in the sense that it was nostalgic to me. It was very, very comforting to me, and it made me realize how much I missed the X-Files series. So I did watch a couple episodes of season 1, which was fantastic. So would I recommend this? No. No, I wouldn't. Unless you're a super diehard fan of the series, even then I'm like, no. So, X-Files. Yay. Next thing that I completed in the month of March is actually a novella, and it was in Shifting Shadows, which is a bind-up of Mercyverse novellas. So I read Roses in Winter, which takes place in Montana where the head of the werewolves in the North America region lives. Was that coherent? I don't know. He takes in 13-year-old Kara, who has been living in her parents' basement since she was turned into a werewolf 3 years prior. And in this novella, she is struggling with being a werewolf, struggling with the change. She was always taught it was a bad thing, and they're trying to teach her that it's not a bad thing, that you just have to learn how to just do it. It's natural. It's cool. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're all cool here. She ends up kind of leaning on Azel, who is a very, very old werewolf, and he's kind of an angry old man, I guess. And the only thing that really gives him solace is his greenhouse full of roses. And so Kara kind of takes refuge in there, and this is pretty much a mentor and student relationship, and that is my favorite. It is my absolute favorite. I love when a young person and a really old person have this mentor friendship. I cried at the end. This was only 40 pages long, but it was beautiful, and everybody was crying, and I was crying, and you're crying. This was so good. This was the best thing I read all month. And honestly, the favorite thing I read in the entire Mercyverse so far was this tiny novella about Azel and Kara. I love them, and I really hope I get to see more of them because they are precious and I want their friendship to last forever. So the next book that I finally finished in the month of March was Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. This is a book written in verse, if you're not familiar with Ellen Hopkins. This book follows 3 teens who have tried to commit suicide and have been admitted to this mental health clinic where they are meeting with doctors and they're doing group sessions to try and figure out why they tried to commit suicide, and then to get to the point where they're able to re-enter their lives. Follow Vanessa, Connor, and Tony. Honestly, this was a miss for me. I really was invested in the characters. I was really invested in why they were there and what was going on in their lives that made them come to the decision that suicide was the answer. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of opportunities were missed in here, and a lot of things that I didn't want were in here instead. Instead, Ellen Hopkins went for romance towards the end, and it was so cringy. Like, it was terrible. It was, oh God. Blech. There was just, it was like, you know that couple you see and they're just like hanging all over each other and they're just making goo eyes at each other and you're just like, go away. It was exactly like that. Every time I saw the characters together, I was like, go away. I don't want you. Leave. I hated it. A lot of missed opportunities with backstory. The plot twist was not really surprising, but kind of was. I didn't expect it to go down the way that it did. And I'm just glad I finished this. This book was 666 pages, and it felt like it was 666 pages, if I'm 1000% honest. So I'm glad it's done. So next, I'm going to do the one DNF that I had. I DNF'd Check Please Book 1, #Hockey by Ngozi Okazu. This is a graphic novel that is kind of like a vlog almost about Eric Biddle, or Biddy, and him going to Samwell and being on the hockey team, being gay, baking pie, and just relationships that he builds. And every section is kind of like a year in university. I made it to sophomore year, which isn't very far. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care for the story at all. I was skim reading a lot of it, and the art was okay, but I wasn't like really like gripped by anything that this story had going on. And it's unfortunate, but I tried it, and what can I say? Yeah, I tried. The last things that I have to talk about are my manga challenges. So if you had not seen my March TBR video, I talked about how I was going to pull 3 manga titles out of a TBR jar, and then I was going to borrow them from the library and read them. And I did that. And these are the results. So the first book the first one I did was The Color of Earth by Kim Dong-hwa. This is a manhwa, which is the Korean version of manga, about it starts with her at the age of 9. I think her name is Ewa. I don't know. I don't really speak Korean, so I'm sorry if I said all of this wrong. But Ewa and her mother and their relationship, her mother is widowed, and it talks about her meeting a new guy, and pretty much we follow Ewa and her sexual awakening. It ends with her being 13 in this volume, and then there's 2 more after it, so it's a trilogy. It was just really uncomfortable for me to read. I didn't really like reading about a 9-year-old girl learning about her lady bits and man bits and reproductive bits. I didn't like it. Like, I'm not like prudish or anything, like that stuff doesn't bother me, but I didn't think it was like pure and innocent and anything. It just felt weird. I don't know, it was weird. It wasn't for me. The art is great. Let's see if I can find a page without boobs. Nope, those are boobs. But I mean, the art's really nice. I can't complain about the art. The writing is very beautiful. It's very poetic. It was a weird topic for me, and I don't know. Give it a shot if you're interested, but it's not for me. The next one is The Story of Sankoku by Kairi Yuta and Sayuki No. This is about a girl named Shude Hong, who she's of noble birth, but she's living in a crumbling building, doing odd jobs to try and get the place to stay afloat. She really wants to work in the palace or in the courts, but because she's female, she can't. So when an official comes to her house and asks her to become a consort to the future emperor, she's like, heck yeah, I'll do that. You're paying me a lot of money, sure. So she goes to the palace to become a consort to the future emperor, who is rumored to only be interested in men, and she's supposed to kind of seduce him, I think, or figure out what's going on. And I DNF'd this because it was boring, and I didn't know if I was gonna like where this was gonna go. I didn't realize it was about that when I put it on my wish list. It was wordy. I wasn't really into the art too much. Like, it's not bad, but eh. And I didn't know where they were gonna go with the whole, oops, that's backwards. I didn't know where they were gonna go with the whole the emperor is gay thing, so I put it down. And the last manga for the challenge was Dengeki Daisy Volume 5 by Kyosuke Motomi. I DNF'd this too, but not because it wasn't good or because I didn't like it, but because after reading The Color of Earth, and then being disappointed by Sayum Koku, I just didn't want to read manga anymore. And then the disappointment continued when I tried to read Check Please, and I couldn't get through this. It's, like I said, it's not that it's bad, I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood for manga anymore, so I put it down. So as you know, I've been doing the If You've Got It, Read It challenge, and I read 3 of those books this month. The first book that I completed for this challenge was Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. This was read a book that's not a typical novel. This is written in verse. The next book that I completed as part of this challenge was Goblins by Charles Grant. This was read your shortest book. This is one of the shortest books I own. And then lastly was read a book that was a gift, and Check Please was a gift. And even though I DNF'd it, I'm still counting it as completing the challenge because it's taking books off your TBR, and this is definitely off my TBR now. So that is everything that I started, read, and or DNF'd in the month of March. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like. And until next time, to be continued. Bye! This is, the next thing that I complenished is what I was going to say. This book in particular follows, nope, what's the word? So we follow Vanessa, Corey, and nope. Oh my god, Buttersworth. My camera's overheating again. It's going to throw 3, bro? Hello. Oh, nope, 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 nope.